If you are a counselor, psychologist, therapist, priest, anyone who counsels married couples or families, people who are struggling, but specifically married couples or divorcing couples, I wanted to say to you, and I'm saying this just as like a matter of fact, not like I'm judging, don't pick sides. Now, you might think that that's rather obvious. Of course, I don't pick sides, but I have not found that to be true. I have had person after person after person after person come to me and say, well, I fought for my marriage. And eventually the counselor just said, why bother? Move on, get divorced. Or they picked my wife's side or they picked my husband's side and they said that I'm the one that should just go ahead and change. Or people will say, they saw my spouse first, so I didn't even have a chance when I came in. Now, I know that everyone's perceptions are their own, but I have found this to be true. As a matter of fact, when I was younger, I found it was much easier to build a relationship with the first person that came to you. You listened to their stories, you grew on empathy. And then when the other person came, if they came, you developed a lens of seeing them through the eyes of the first person that you saw. I've seen this happen with priests, and I recently got the privilege of helping to instruct other priests who've been in this ministry saying, be careful because when you hear from one, then when you get an opportunity to hear from the other, the stories are pretty disparate, or they've painted a picture that doesn't wholly seem true if you haven't met the other person. So again, I'm not trying to tell you something that you shouldn't already know, but I'm asking you, whether you're a relationship coach, a counselor, a therapist, a priest, is check yourself. Put yourself through your own lens of humility and ask yourself, have I really given the second person a chance? Now, over time, if you've seen someone for quite some time, you can tell who at that point needs the most work, perhaps. But don't, I'm going to say to you what I say to my standers. Do not pit one as the good guy and one as the bad guy. Both need help. Both have contributed to the destruction of the marriage. Even if one of them has had the affair, a lot of times that's one that needs to really, you need to work on. But there is the other person who hasn't had the affair, and let's work on the things that they need to fix, or vice versa. The one who, I could give many, many excuses, but I just am saying this as a reminder that if we can get better to not have total empathy for one person, but rather have empathy for both, we're going to do better to pull both people back together. And never, 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 ever should you get to a point where you tell a client it's time to move on. Because with the God that we have, whether this couple believes it or not, nothing is impossible. The worst marriages I've seen have been reconciled. I've seen abusive marriages go on to have fantastic stories. I always think of this one in particular, one where she suffered abuse at the hands of her husband, and there was this massive conversion. And now she and he travel together, speaking on how their marriage changed. So I know that it touches a soft spot because many people think, oh, abusers can't change. Abusers are children of God, just like anybody else. And their behavior is based on the own brokenness that they endured. But I know you already know this. This is a call to all of us out there helping to save marriages. Check yourself, realize you can, in fact, be lied to. There are people that will lie. And you'll need God's grace to help him, to ask him to help you see that relationship from his perspective. I'm Dr. Christine Bacon. Thanks for listening to this Bacon Bit. And as always, remember to live your life sunny side up.